Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to a few YouTube videos. Today we are going to be reacting to 3 YouTube videos that are all seemingly, from what I've gathered, different types of videos as well. But I'm reacting to them to kind of, because they're kind of separate from everything else, and I feel like I don't want to make just, like, you know, videos on one thing at a time for this. So we got 3 things. We got Welcome to Hell by Erica Wester, which, from what I gathered when bringing it up and getting it ready, is a animatic, I would say. We also have The Ringleader, Fizzarali Show, which is a song by Paranoid DJ featuring Captain Doofkin and Adelaide Smith. And then we have It's Okay to Be Gay, New Comma Land by Kaimayat88. I probably mispronounced how that's supposed to be said, but this is an AMV for One Piece. All 3 of these were requested as a donation reward by Venom0027, so thank you, Venom, for the requests. And I don't really know what to expect from 2 of these. Well, okay, I can kind of, I'll say 1, because the other one, it's like I can kind of know where it's going. So Welcome to Hell is the one that I really don't know what to expect from. Because it's such a vague, basic statement that it could mean pretty much anything. Like, it could be literal, it could be more figurative, and I don't know what the actual thing is going to be about. The video is 9 minutes and 46 seconds long, but some of that runtime might be credits or whatnot. Also, apparently it's in high definition. The title of the video says high definition release, so okay. So I don't really know what to think of that going in. The song, The Ringleader, this is, once again, Paranoid DJ. It is a song about Fizzarali from Hell of a Boss. This one, it's like, I don't know exactly where it's going to go, but I can kind of guess based on just what I know about Fizzarali. I assume this is talking about actual Fizzarali and not Robo-Fizz. I wonder how much of it's based on, like, what we know from the series, and how much of it is based on, I would say, headcanons. It looks like this maybe came out, like, a short time ago. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not seeing a specific date on it. I don't like how YouTube just sometimes doesn't show a date when a video came out. It's like, that's kind of something I sometimes want to know. But, so I don't know if it includes information from, like, Season 2, Episode 1, basically. But in terms of in the show, there's not really a lot of information, so I'm just wondering exactly what it's going to focus on. And then the last one is probably the one I would be able to know about the most. It's Okay to Be Gay, New Comma Land. So this is centering around New Comma Land, which is the gathering of the New Comma within Impel Down in One Piece. The New Comma and the Okama are gender non-conforming characters in One Piece, for those who don't know. A lot of them are just cross-dressers who, again, dress and act more feminine despite still identifying as male. Some of them are actively trans, like Morley, who's a member of the Revolutionary Army. And some of them are even gender fluid, like the leader of the Okama and New Comma, Emporio Ivankov, and their right hand, Inazuma, who in the series we've seen in both male and female, I don't want to say forms, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean, both as male and female. Let's just put it that way. So this one's obviously going to be about that entire aspect of things. Probably, if it's specifically centering around specifically the Impel Down stuff, there's obviously going to be a lot of focus on Bentham, Bon Clay as well. I don't know if it's going to show stuff from other than that, though. It's hard to say, but I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see what that's about. So that's also the order we're going to do this in, by the way. We're going to do Welcome to Hell first, then we're going to do The Ringleader, and then end off on It's Okay to Be Gay. So, with that all being said, we are going to get on with this. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the videos. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. This was an interesting mixed bag. These were very different from each other. Very different. So let's talk about them. And I want to make it clear ahead of time, I apologize for not saying much of anything during the last two. It's just I was paying attention to the songs and everything, and to the visuals, for the last one at least. There just wasn't much to talk about as it was going, but I'll have stuff to talk about afterwards at least. So let's go in order, of course. Welcome to Hell by Erica Wester. This was the best of these videos for sure, and the one I guess the most interested in. So the story centers around Sock, a young boy who I guess is supposed to be a young teenager, I would say, who has this mental health issue to where he has this urge to kill. This is a real thing and has been talked about and studied in real life and everything. Where people just have that really random urge and stuff. And we see this expressed in the story of this animatic motion comic, whatever you would want to call this. To the point where in his sleep, I guess through sleepwalking, he ended up killing his parents. And this did seem to upset him a bit. He definitely regretted it, and as a result chose to kill himself in, I guess, a way of making amends for it. So he kills himself, he stabs himself to the stomach and winds up in hell due to his, murderous actions. There he meets Mephistopheles, the devil, basically. In this context, clearly. But in some context, in some versions of it, Mephistopheles is different from the devil, as is Lucifer. There's Lucifer, there's Satan, there's Mephistopheles. In some versions of it, they're all different people. But in this, I guess they're the same. So he tells Sock that it's okay, I have a job for you. You have to go up to the surface, go up to the world, haunt this dude, this teenage boy, and get him to kill himself. You have to haunt him, you have to be a jerk to him, pester him, keep fucking with him, basically, until he kills himself. So Sock goes up, and at first it seems like this guy thinks he's just some weirdo watching him and talking to himself. But eventually it is very much made apparent that not just some little weirdo, definitely a demon in this case. Although he thinks just ghost at first, but the two, because of basically spending a lot of time together with Sock constantly following him around, actually end up becoming friends. And so at the end, when Mephistopheles confronts Sock once again, he tells him, it's like, there's no time limit, but this does need to be done. I was thinking it was going to be done already, but as long as it gets done. And he even, like, kind of pesters Sock about it. It's like, oh, are you getting attached to him and everything? And it's very clear that he is. And Sock asks, like, okay, what happens if he doesn't kill himself? And Mephistopheles is like, well, you're fired. And that's not a pun, by the way. So it's like, yeah, we can get where that's going. So that, but then it kind of ends. It leaves off on that note, kind of leaving the idea of, like, okay, what happens next? Where is this going to go? There's a lot of questions as to how this story could continue. And it definitely makes me wonder and makes me want to see more. I was invested. I was interested in this story. And I kind of feel bad for Sock, because it's very clear that he is not a bad person, and that his urge to kill was centered on a mental illness. I think that was pretty obvious. And so it's like, I don't think he necessarily deserves hell. I don't think anyone with a mental illness that they can't control like that does. So I feel really bad for him, and honestly, the fact that he's making friends with this teenage guy is, like, I think that's kind of cute, and I want them to kind of be happy, you know. But I don't know if there's any more to this or whatnot. But I mean, I definitely would be very willing to see more. I definitely want to see where this would go. So the second of these videos was, again, a song. There was some very minimal visuals, just some images and all, as well as the lyrics on screen. So it was mostly about the song itself. It was supposedly taking place after the events of season 1, but it clearly referenced season 2's premiere. So the video had come out after that, clearly. Fizzarali at some point confronts Blitz and basically just taunts him. That's basically all this is. He's taunting Blitz about having all of this stuff that he's happy with while Blitz doesn't. It's just Fizzarali being an asshole. The song is him flaunting the stuff he has, the position he has, being in a relationship with Asmodeus, while also taunting the fact that Blitz has nothing. That's all this song is. It's neat. It has a good sound to it. It's well sung. The voices are okay. They're not perfect by any means, but I mean, you don't expect them to be perfect recreations of, like, Brandon Rogers and I don't know the name of Fizzarali's VA, but you don't expect perfect representations for them or Asmodeus's voice either. But it's clear that effort was put into this. It sounds nice. It's a fan song. It's a neat fan song. Don't really have much else to say about it. Fizzarali was never my favorite character in Hell of a Boss. In fact, he's actually kind of one of my least favorites. But it's like, I didn't necessarily mind hearing this song. It's just not really much to say about it. The last one was pretty interesting, though. It's Okay to Be Gay, New Kamaland, by, again, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to be said, but Kaimayit88? I don't know. I apologize if I got that wrong. But this is a 3.5-minute AMV about One Piece, and specifically centering around New Kamaland and Impel Down. and very specifically centering around the performance that Ivankov and the other newcomers put on when Bon Clay Bentham first gets there. So you see it uses basically those clips from that performance with a couple clips of a couple other scenes, but it's mostly just that. You see Ivankov dancing and singing along with the other newcomers while Bon Clay watches in disbelief. And the song is basically just this very, very repetitive song saying it's okay to be gay, have fun, live your life, y'all Gucci. That's pretty much the song. That's all it says. It's super simple. It's super basic. According to this, when I scrolled down, the song is called "Okay to Be Gay" by Tomboy. I've never heard of the artist. I have never heard of the song before. It didn't sound familiar in any degree. It was super simple. It was very basic. There wasn't much depth to the song at all. It was a very goofy, silly, ridiculous song, but kind of got across the general idea of the newcomer and everything, of their queer nature and everything. And yeah, it was, pretty accurate to the characters and everything. No real issues in that regard. It felt like something that fit with the newcomer and with Ivankov and all of them. Although I don't know if any of them are canonically specifically gay, but I guess if you're using gay as an umbrella term, that works out fine. But the song was like specifically talking about like guys and stuff, so it's like it probably was specifically talking about gay guys. Bon Clay is like specifically queer, he's referred to as. He still uses he him pronouns, but his sexuality is not really stated exactly. Ivankov and Inazuma, who are both shown in this, they are gender fluid, and again, their sexualities really aren't touched on much at all. In fact, that's not really a thing that this series touches on much. A lot of the Newkama and Okama stuff is more based in identity and gender and stuff than actual sexuality. But again, the ideas and the themes and all of that still is reflected in here just fine. And again, the song works. There are even some parts where it looks like it was almost lip synced well, and some of the visuals matched with the sound of the song. So yeah, it was fine. It was good. It wasn't like anything special for an AMV. Like, I've seen much better AMVs, but I had no issue with it. So yeah, those were the 3 YouTube videos for today. Definitely Welcome to Hell was my favorite of them. And my least favorite would probably be the Ringleader, just because, again, as I said, I'm not really the biggest Fizzarali fan. He's one of my least favorite characters in Hell of a Boss, and honestly, while the song was good, and by saying it's my least favorite, I'm not saying it's bad, it just wasn't as good as the other videos to me, especially Welcome to Hell. That was definitely the highlight of these videos. But once again, these were all donated for by Venom0027, and I want to say, Venom, thank you once again, as always, for your donations, and thank you for these 3 videos. These are definitely videos I probably would have never seen otherwise. Well, I might have ended up stumbling across the AMV at some point. Maybe. But like the other videos are definitely videos I wouldn't have checked out otherwise, and you know, I'm glad I got to check them out, especially Welcome to Hell. So tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.